Okay, folks. So today we're going to be working on getting our thing scripted. If you don't know, we've been working on a metal fab workbench for a little while now, and we have pretty much all the models. We have one more model to make, but we can make that later. So right now, today, we're going to be working on the scripting. Now, yesterday I did a little bit of scripting on making sure the metal fab bench was placeable, and we were able to do that. Now we can move on to other things, such as making it so it can't be picked up if items are attached to it, or some other fun miscellaneous things, such as like, is it locked or isn't it not locked kind of situations. So what we need to do is we need to essentially check to make sure that we can lock it down. And to do this, we want to do a check on if there's anything attached to it. So I'm going to go down to base building plus. I don't know, to open. All right. So I got what I needed all open, and we're going to work on it from here. Alright, first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that if there is anything attached to the table, it cannot be put into cargo or put into hands. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go, first we're going to define a super. And the reason why we define a super is because if anybody wants to in the future do anything with this mod, this will help them do so. Now we're going to do an if statement. We're going to go get inventory. We're going to create two brackets and do dot attachment count. We'll go equal is greater than or equal to 1. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to open up a thing called Workbench. Alright, so we're going to go over to our metal workbench, go to scripts, for world, and then we're going to open up our thing. And we're going to open up the script editor. There is some benefits to using the script editor, and not just the regular Notepad++. Like if I were to start typing in a function like lock to parents, lockpick, lock zoom, lock type, action, lock sprint, I could do that, or I could be all like void change into on attach. Yeah, I could do a lot of things from this, and it auto completes it for me. Okay, so we have ourselves. What are we gonna do here? Oh yeah. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go to this, and we're just going to have our thing return false. And then we're pretty much going to do the same exact thing down here, right? We're going to call super dot, and we're going to call our can put into hands, and we're going to call this again just parent, right? And then here we're pretty much going to do, it's pretty much just a copy and paste essentially. So we're just stating that if there is an attachment count of 1 or greater, then we are going to, you know, not allow it to be picked up. Okay, now we need to create logging mechanisms. Now, I did realize that the oh, sorry, I had a burp. I didn't realize there is a function called void lock to parent, which technically we could call in the action. So I believe if we we might have to make a custom script for that, but let's give this a quick shot to see how it works, and then we can work on that more. So I've taken the liberty of putting together a metal workbench testing thing, so we can test the metal workbench on a server environment. All right. So pretty simple. We're going to be we pack the mod. I have on my desktop a place for me to do it. It's just a bat file. This bat file right here. All it has inside of it is a basic launch pattern. So it will launch the server I'm testing / working with and all that kind of stuff. And we automatically have a problem. Can't find variable event manager. So the reason why I can't find the event manager is because my test server, I have it running the Namolsk in it, which technically I don't need to run because my metal fab thing is not needed to test Namolsk stuff. So what we're going to do here is just go in here and we're going to essentially change the init.c to get rid of all of this weather stuff, just because we don't need an event handler at all. And I believe once we fix that, we can launch this perfectly. And wait for it. There we go. Okay, so now we just need to join the game and we need to see if our stuff worked. So now that we're testing on a server, we need to enable Command Online Tools along with our little pattern. Just going to save this preset, make sure it boots up, parameters, okay, let's just try it out. Again, we made the code, so the attachments, if anything becomes attached to the workbench cannot be picked up or put into cargo. When you work with the workbench from DayZ, you will have your DayZ always go into a smaller window. It's to be expected. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying, but you can probably fix this. I just have never explored how. Okay, so you were kicked off. Data verification client has a mod which is not a part of server. So it says that metal workshop testing. So it's saying that Alright, so see what it's saying here is that the ammo making doesn't have a key. So all I have to go do is go into my testing environment, grab the buy key, and throw it in there. That's all it's saying. Paste. There we go. Let's put it back up and give this another shot. This kind of process isn't perfect, but nothing when it comes to making mods and doing stuff is. Trust me, it's a lot of pain. You're a person who's ever tried to do any type of handcrafted things or making things, it's always a pain to get things started. Actually, there's a cool website where, like, if you ever like had an idea of like wanting to create your own like assembly line, they sell these machines, and you can actually on the website set them up how you want them to do: stamping, milling, water injection, laser cutting, plasma cutting, all those kind of things. You can have all automated little like assembly line. You can make like some really cool stuff. I mean, it costs a pretty penny, but it's almost like a consumer grade, consumer line place where they build the machines for you and everything else, and you just put them together when they get sent to you. All right, cool. I think like one of the cheapest options was like 10 grand or something. Hopefully we can log on to the server from here. And nope, it said disconnect. I made a mistake. So client has a PBO which is not part of the server. Okay. So that's a bit annoying. Let's just go like this, and then what we can do is we can just go here and pack it how we see fit. just binizing. Alright, so now we both have two Newton BiSigns. Oh, take away the testing key. You know what we should do? Let's put an @ sign in front of this, and then go to our metal workbench thing and switch it to an @ sign in front of that. That might be what's causing the issues. And then when we go here, what we need to do here is we need to get rid of that, go to the local mod, and then do DayZ server, metal workshop, testing, load that mod. What I want to do is I want to go to the other metal workshop one. No, they're doing forging. Okay. Alright, let's give this another shot. So it's loading up. Let's see if we can join real quick again. This should be the same as the folder in our DayZ thing. Okay, everything looks good. Let's give it a shot. Oh, kick me off again. Why is it kicking me off? So it says DayZ server add-ons. It's like it's not reading the it's not reading this add-on right here. Why isn't it reading the BiSign? Wow, okay. That's just kind of frustrating. What we're going to do is we're just going to go to our utils, and then we're going to sign it essentially. So I don't know why it's doing this, but it's doing it, and it's just something that we just got to deal with. Okay, we're both now signed. Okay. What if maybe the shortcut isn't working properly? Let's just try it here. Alright, it says initiated. If I get kicked off again, I know what to do next. So this is something I don't really recommend you do if you're running a real server, but for testing purposes, until I can figure out what's going on, we're going to do this. It's turn your verify signatures to 0. Again, I do not recommend doing this because when you turn your verify signatures to 0, any person with any mod can join your server, which causes a lot of issues. If you have special gillies, if a person joins the server without those gillies, any person running around in those gillies would look like they're naked, a bunch of other things. So it just kind of breaks the fun of it. So never run a server with verify signature 0 if it's a public joinable server. Alright, so now we're inside of the game. Let us actually just throw this to full screen, and then let's spawn in our metal fab workbench. What the heck? It's not spawning it in. Some minor issues. Nothing we can't handle though. Can I spawn in anything from the... No, I can't. I can't spawn in anything. Why is that? Well, you know what? This is problematic. Let's just try testing it. So I can take the metal fab workbench into my hands, and if I attach something to it, I can no longer take it into my hands. Can I drag it in my inventory? No, I can't drag it into my inventory either. That's the same with anything attached to it. Yep, that looks good. Okay, that worked. We really need to figure out why it's doing what it's doing. So let's figure that out, because I can't have it. I can't really test this properly unless I have a good environment to test it in. What if we just delete this, and then let's try running it and see if it works. Alright, it should work. Alright. A little bit of a more quiet stream, but I'm okay with that. Doesn't have to be super exciting or anything. Did it just kick me? I did. Client has a PPO which is not part of the server. Maybe it's because I don't have this named properly. I will be right back. Bye. I was dealing with something. Let's see if the thing being properly named is the reason why it's not working. And hello, viewer. Oh hey, happy birthday, Scutless. I tried giving you a call to wish you a happy birthday, but it went to voicemail. But still, happy birthday, man. Congrats. All right. Okay. Now the goal here is that we do not want to get disconnected from entering the server. We just want to be able to, yeah, say it just got disconnected. Yeah, no worries, man. I figured you were busy out tearing up the town. Client has a mod which is not part of the server. Oh. Is it not even reading the um the thing? Okay, you know what? We're just gonna be smart Alex and we're going to throw it inside of our new Dawn testing environment. And we're just going to use our regular testing environment thing. Alright. Let's break out the old task manager. Make sure it's shut down. Oh, there it is. Can't find variable pistols. Okay, why can't you find variable pistols? Is it because I put the metal workbench in there? Alright, so what in my metal workbench is causing the issue? Yeah, nothing here should be causing an issue. Maybe what we should do is just comment out the 3 game and the 5 world, and then test it then. Let's see if it does it again. It does. Hand animated underscore guards dot c. Can't find variable pistols. Port. So it's saying it can't find pistol. Why can't it find pistol? Let's do something real quick. Let's make sure the DayZ server hasn't lost anything. Wi-Fi fails to validate and downloaded and reacquired them. I don't think this will change it, but we'll see. Yeah. Let's just see if I can make it so it just only loads the world. Alright. Let's test it. Nope, still doing it. Why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? Maybe too many mods? Add-ons? Let's just test this real quick. What if I get rid of the NDG templates? Okay, so let's get rid of those three. I mean, those two. And test it again. Okay, so it's possibly too many PBOs. Alright, well, let's see if I can even join this now. Everyone having a good day? Yeah, so the problem was it wasn't reading the folder. Nice. Alright, so we're in the server. Let's see if we can spawn some stuff in now. Yep, I can spawn stuff in now. Alright, so now that we know how to do that, let us get back to working on the scripts. So I'm not going to work inside of, well, kind of don't want to work in Workbench, but Workbench is pretty damn handy for understanding this stuff. So Yeah, I think we'll just work in Workbench. All right. So we'll just go to our script editor. Here we are. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to make the I want to modify a script so we can lock the attachment to the bench. So there's two ways for us to go about this. One, we could do a void lock. I mean a void lock attachment, and then we can then create a overall idea. What we do is we go bool do underscore lock, and then we go. What the bool dual lock means is that if I were to, let's say, go I define a item base. So item base, or go item base, and then I go the name of the thing. So let's go over to our config here and grab the name of one of our models, one of our things, NT chop saw. And I paste that. Oh, man, I hate when I do that. Paste that there, and then I go equal, and I go get chop saw, and then I put two circle brackets on it, and to push enter, and then I can go if, and it goes so we would call this chop saw because this is the name, and we would say chop saw, and then we'd be like this, and we would go if. So this would honestly be a statement that says do underscore lock, and then here we would go chop saw, and then we put two brackets here, and then inside of this if statement we can be all like chop saw dot lock to parent, and then two brackets again, and boom. And then what we do is we go else, and then because it's an else statement, we actually don't technically need a if statement inside of it, and then we just go chop saw dot unlock from parent. So when I trigger this method or this function, what happens here is it is a void function and is a bool void function. It can either return true or false. And then, because I'm calling bool and I'm calling a do lock, when the do lock is triggered and the item is a chop saw, because item base equals chop saw, and since the chop saw inherits off the item base, it can do that. It will then trigger this if chop saw and says chop saw locked to parent. And it actually does a thing in the background where it checks if it's already locked. If it's already locked, it will unlock it, which is what it does down here. But if it isn't locked, it will lock to parent, which is the parent is the workbench itself. So that's kind of how it basically works. What we also want to do is we want to work on making a action for this. So right now the action for this is non-existent. But we're going to pack this up real quick. We're going to test to see if we can lock it in place using the vanilla method, which I don't believe will work. And then, man, I have to burp. Oh, man, excuse me. Yeah, and the reason why we want to lock this stuff to the parents or the parent, the workbench itself, is because we don't want people to just be able to run up and grab one of the items and run away. Oops, I forgot to define get chop saw. So this is a part that I think some people miss, and it's not incredibly like hard to do, but it is something that can that is useful. So we need to make a kind of like a get function. And all this does is it just fetches the item's name for us. So we do is we define that item, and then we go get chop saw, right? And then we put 2 brackets, and then we put 2 squirrely brackets, and we're just going to say return the chop saw dot cast, which is casting a it's fetching the chop saw's item name, and then it goes get attachment meant by type by type. Sometimes typing is hard. Oh, I just got somebody who subbed. Oh, thank you. Hey, creep. Okay. Where was I? I was not there. Okay. And then we go get type, and then we just create the chop saw again, and we go like this. And we need to make a secondary bracket. Oh, nice. Always nice to hear from you, creep. Now this is one method of us being able to do it. There is another method which I was kind of looking at. So like, this is the vanilla script for locking down car parts. And it looks like down here, it locks to the parent on finish the same way I'm doing it. But what I want to figure out is how does it detect what part you're looking at and only lock that part. Alright, great. See ya. So if I can do it that way, that would be more beneficial, because then people can look at the part they wish to lock down and they can lock it down. But yeah, we'll have to see how that works. Unknown type and D chop saw. Oh, you know what it is. So technically, I have to designate the chop saw Um, Otherwise, it won't work. So, okay. So, fourth time's a try. Alright, looks like it is booting up. No issues so far. Heh, I lied. Undefined function get attachment by type. Did I misspell that? I think I did. Yep, I did. I put a extra E in there. There we go. That was my mistake. Friggin' spelling errors. Part of the reason why I'm using Workbench is you use it for spelling. This is called Workbench. It comes with DayZ tools. Um, it just essentially allows you to grab any method, any function, any bool, any init, any float, you name it, that's already been put inside of the game engine files, and allows you to like essentially quickly pull from it, and it shows you if it's going to be invalid or valid, or if it's protected or it's not protected. You know, overall it's kind of like a double checker, right? You know, like right here, this is telling me that there's something wrong with the return. Um, it's probably calling a null variable, which is not good. There is a way to make it so you can use this editor and edit scripts in real time, without having to repack all the time and stuff like that. Um, or I believe you have to repack, but like you can edit the scripts constantly, essentially. Yep, that's what I thought. I wouldn't be able to do that. Because see, if you get a car, yeah, if you get a car, you can walk up and you can essentially, see, it says lock. You hold it, and it will now lock the battery in place, so you can't pull it out. Hey, Jinka. So that's essentially what we're going to be doing here, is we're going to be creating a way to be able to lock these parts in place by looking at it. And we just got to figure out how they did that in the action condition. So this might be a little bit beyond me, but we'll see. Alright, so let's go here, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class action. And we're actually going to just use one of the classes we already have. So I'm just going to copy and paste a action in here. We don't honestly, we're not going to use this entire action, but we are going to use the idea. So this is just a basic, real quick action I have for my tanning mod. And then all we're going to do here is essentially we're going to be telling this that it's the drill press. So what I want to do here is we want to put the drill press here, here, and here. And we're just going to call this drill. And we can delete the rest of this. Alright, and then what we can do here is we can do find attachment by slot name, and the slot name is drill press. And then we're going to get rid of this. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to say that if the drill isn't locked, okay, so we're going to have it check if it isn't locked to the parent, then return true. If it is, return false. And then what we're going to have down here is we're going to define our metal fab bench. So frame. I'm gonna call this bench, and then once we do the bench, we're going to do, it's going to trigger lock attachment, and then we'll put a thing down here. Okay, so let me explain how this is working. So first we designate the name, lock metal fab part. Okay, now this is an instant action, so it's not going to take any time to do. All right, and then, well, so interact once means my person will interact with it once, and then it says that I will either be crouched or I can stand erected. The string of get text is what I will get returned to me when I look at the bench for this, and then the action condition is the condition in which the action can be executed if the conditions are met. Here, because it's an override, it's a bool. So bool means yes or no, period. So here we target entity, entity AI, target entity, and then it pretty much states that we are the target entity and we're getting the object. Then it says object target underscore object, and it gets the object that we're looking at. From there, it gets complicated with the string selection. Don't 100% understand this. And then finally, we get the drill press. We nickname the drill press there, or assign it to the drill name, and then we cast it, and then we get the attachment by the thing. Then what we do is we fetch it based off of its attachment name. All right. So its inventory slot or its attachment name is ND drill press. All right. And then it returns true if it's not locked to the parent and the ND drill press is present. All right. And then on the execute server, it just says bench.lock attachment, and it locks the attachment. So all we're going to do here is we're going to essentially mod the screwdriver. All right. And we don't need any of this other stuff. We just need to mod the supers. Okay. So double click here, go action, boom. And then we can go file, save. And now we need to register that action. So the action register is not that hard to do. Again, it's just a simple line of code. So we go here, push enter, and we just register the action. File, save. Okay. So let's close down these. And then let's pack it. Oh, thanks for the follow. No, I can't. Sorry. That's just not my thing. Oh, I forgot to mod the screwdriver. Oops. So, see how it has a red X there? It's telling me I didn't do something right. So now it works. Broken casting 64. Okay. Says that is broken. Turn. Get chop saw. Return. Cast. Ah, I forgot to state something. Get attachment by type is what I forgot to put there. There we go. And oh, because I didn't again designate the drill press as its own class. Okay. Let's see if this works now. 40. Can't condition void type. Okay, so we're actually just going to get rid of this drill check lock to parent because that's just for that was just for fun. We're coming up on an hour and 17 minutes, and I feel like I haven't really accomplished anything, but I try not to make these too long to kind of save people and stuff like that. But we're going to test this out, and then I think after we get done testing, we're going to call it a day. Not enough parameters in function lock attachment. Top 50. Oh. There we go. Put true in there. Yeah, I know. I know. Kind of wish I was a little bit more productive, but oh well. And it's gonna error. Just watch. Nope, no error. Nice. So let's play a little bit. Alright. So what we should be able to do now is we should be able to lock this in place with a screwdriver. And it looks like the action is not popping up. Action, lock that part. Yep, that's not working. Well, folks, I think I'm going to call it today. Work on some of this stuff maybe off camera a little